Welcome back to the MedCup Media Corner, and I'm very happy to share it with Margarita Gómez-Chantraine, who is the Medical Affairs and Excellence Hub Director at Janssen. We will discuss how it's being a physician in the pharmaceutical sector, and also discuss excellence, what it is and what it can entail in the workplace. But would you like to start by giving us a short introduction of your academic background and also what you do today?
My background, I'm a physician. I have a clinical specialty in obstetrics and gynecology, and then I did a master in clinical epidemiology and research. I used to be a physician, a normal gynecologist and obstetrician, and then I started doing research with another company. And when I was finishing my master degree, I have an offer to come to Janssen to do evidence-based medicine program. So for MedTech first. After some years, the career developed, and then currently I'm doing medical affairs at Janssen, Excellence Hub, as you mentioned, for the ESO, that means the regional level of Janssen.
Yes, you touched briefly upon the fact that you changed career path a bit. How has it been going from being a practitioner or a physician to working within medical affairs?
I will say that in the beginning it's really a big change. I mean, you need to understand what means to be in a company, because it's very different from being in your office, your cabinet, versus really a company with other things to do, and as well a commercial side that we used to think a little bit bad from the medical school, you know. I mean, we are here to help people only, and of course we are here to help people, but as well we need to understand how to do the best with what we have in terms of knowledge and what we can deliver for patients. So the change, yes, a little bit difficult in the beginning. Then I think that it was the best decision I took in my life, because I can really touch more patients nowadays. And that's maybe my first motivation, I will say, when I really understand how we can do better, how we can evolve or even create compounds or solutions for patients that are waiting for it. So that was the big change.
Very interesting, and I'm curious to know, having a background within medicine and being a physician, do you feel like it's beneficial and that it helps you in what you're doing today?
Yes, absolutely. Since the beginning on this movement, I will say, this change, I found very useful to have the patient perspective first, because I used to be with the patient, understanding what they need, but as well the physician perspective. What are they waiting from the pharma? Because, and I use still nowadays in my different examples, when we go to see a strategy, a compound, whatever discussion we have inside the company, we cannot forget what we are, what's our aim. And really the patient is in the center of everything what we do. And we need to understand what's the challenge for a physician as well in the daily life. So for me, it has been absolutely useful to have this background.
Do you miss it at all?
Yes, of course. Sometimes I miss to see my patients. I used to do surgeries, and now I think I miss it. But in the other side, really helping more people and being able to do something that I consider worthy, it's helping me with my little frustration, you know.
That's good. Good to hear. And then we also mentioned excellence in the outset here. I think we should start from the beginning. What is excellence?
So excellence is a big concept, right? I need to start maybe explaining that I'm working in a department that is called medical affairs. Inside pharma, medical affairs could be the core of the science, you know, in this company. Of course, you have research and development, but then with medical affairs, you are able to put all these compounds and things really close to the patient. Medical Affairs Excellence Hub is inside Medical Affairs at Janssen, and we are really the team who enable other medical affairs functions, that means the people on the field, but even commercial areas, to do the best with what we have. We are able to give to all of our colleagues, according to the roles, the best messages, how to embrace the data we have in terms of clinical studies, how to answer the questions of the physicians, because we can anticipate and think like them. We can as well train internally our people on how to manage the different diseases and how to face the questions from patients or even from physicians as well. We are in charge of medical education. That means educating about the compounds, but as well about the diseases, different HCPs of different profiles. It's not the same need according to the moment in your career. So our aim is really to enable all of these areas and this harmonized vision and as well activities to come with one goal. The goal is make the compound affordable for the right patient in the right moment.
And then it sounds like when working with excellence, it's really beneficial to have been on the other side, understanding the needs that one is trying to.
Yes, I agree.
Trying to meet. What can a day in the Excellence Hub look like?
Oh, wow. A little bit busy because as I tried to explain, there are different areas and activities that we must do. I will say that depending if it's medical education, you can have a day running an event, you know, like a Congress symposium or whatever, you know, and it's really busy to have everything in order and to be able to really transfer the appropriate knowledge during that session. No? So that's the core of the session. You can have as well internal trainings to our people on the field, the medical scientific liaison. So as well with them, we work very hard to give them the best in terms of materials, knowledge, documents, etc. So they have really an appropriate discussion with the physicians when they are on the field and things like that. So it depends on what you decide to do. You have different fronts of activities.
And what do you find most rewarding with the work that you do today?
I will say that I used to have balanced thinking at the end of the week. What I did this week, what is worthy. The majority of the weeks, I will not say every week, I'm happy to see that I'm able to support, to help, finding solutions for patients and putting them really affordable, really on their hands in one way or the other. So that's for me the most important, how I can impact more patients and their families, even if sometimes it's only alleviating, you know. We don't need to solve everything, it's impossible to solve. But to come with some solutions and to really alleviate or give some support is something that I really like to do in my lives.
It sounds incredible, and I also want to borrow the idea of having a balance calculation by the end of the week. Thank you very much, and I have a final question. So as we know, there's a lot of challenges taking place here at MedCup, and I'm wondering which one would be your favorite if you were to compete?
Clinical cases. That's my favorite. Why? Because you need to really understand what's happening with the patient. Every patient is different. I used to say that in medicine we don't have 0% or 100%. It's impossible. There are always nuances, right? And that's the reason we used to have discussions between colleagues on what's the best solution for a patient. So clinical cases could be the best challenge, and I will have a lot of passion to discuss with my colleagues about the best solution.
Thank you very much for joining us, Margarita.
No,
it's been
thanks to you,
pleasure.
Hannah.
Thank you.